stars above Virelia burned cold and distant, their light reflecting off the glass towers of the alien court. Captain Elias stood on the landing platform of the massive palace, feeling the weight of 100 eyes on him. He was a human, a species rarely welcomed in alien courts, and yet here he was, unafraid, even as rumors of impossible challenges surrounded him. The palace doors opened with a low hum, revealing the vast hall inside. Crystal pillars rose like frozen waterfalls, and the walls shimmered with alien inscriptions that seemed to dance in the corner of one's vision. Elias walked in steadily, shoulders straight, chest proud, and eyes fixed on the throne at the far end. The alien queen sat there, regal and cold. Her skin shimmered like molten silver, her multiple eyes observing every movement. Around her, alien nobles whispered in a language Elias could not understand. Many had come here over the centuries to win the hand of her daughter, Princess Lyra, and all had failed. The queen had grown tired of liars. Humans. The queen's voice echoed through the hall, surprisingly clear and melodic. Rarely have I seen your kind in my court, and yet here you are. Do not think your presence alone impresses me. Elias bowed respectfully, keeping his tone calm. I am not here to impress your majesty. I am here to speak with Princess Lyra, if she allows it. A murmur passed through the court. Other suitors had never dared speak so plainly. Flattery and deceit were the norm here, yet Elias's words were simple, honest, and direct. The queen's multiple eyes narrowed, and she leaned forward slightly. All suitors who have come before you have lied. They sought favor, wealth, or power. None were truthful. None were worthy. My daughter has been disappointed many times. Elias nodded. I do not seek favor, wealth, or power. I seek only honesty and understanding. Lyra, sitting beside her mother, tilted her head slightly. She had observed Elias from the moment he entered, curious despite herself. Humans were strange creatures, fragile in appearance, yet there was a certain strength in the way he carried himself. He did not bend, he did not flatter, and he did not shrink. Something about him made her want to know more. The queen spoke, again. If you lie, human, know this. Your blood will not protect you. Elias did not flinch. He felt the tension, but he also felt a strange calmness. He had faced danger before, though never on this scale. I do not lie, your majesty, he said simply. The queen studied him for a long moment, then waved a clawed hand. Very well. You may remain in my court, but know this. Nothing here is as it seems. All will be tested, and all who fail will be exposed. Elias followed her gaze to Lyra. She was unlike any alien he had seen before. Her eyes, violet and deep, held intelligence and curiosity, but also caution. She did not smile, did not speak, only watched him with quiet attention. Throughout the day, Elias was shown the wonders and dangers of the court. He observed alien suitors performing strange rituals, their every action designed to show cunning or trickery. They bowed and flaunted, smiled and whispered, yet Elias noticed the subtle tension behind every gesture. Lies hung in the air like smoke, and the princess seemed tired of it all. During the afternoon, the queen led Elias to a chamber of mirrors, a hall filled with crystal reflections that shifted and warped reality. Here, she said, we learn truth from falsehood. Here we see the nature of a suitor's soul. One by one, the alien suitors stepped forward, each attempting to project an image of perfection, but as they moved through the hall, their illusions cracked. Their words became hollow echoes, and the queen's magic revealed hidden motives. Whispers of anger and shame spread through the hall. Elias stepped forward. He looked into the mirrors, but he did not attempt trickery. He did not lie. He walked straight, spoke his mind honestly, and his reflection remained true. The mirrors shimmered, then remained calm. Lyra's eyes widened slightly. She had expected deception, as always. Yet this human, he did not bend. He did not fear. He did not try to hide anything. Something inside her stirred, a feeling she had not felt in centuries. Curiosity. The day ended with the queen observing him silently. "You may rest," she said, her voice cold but thoughtful. "Tomorrow the trials will begin." Elias bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty." As he was led to his quarters, Lyra followed silently at a distance. She did not approach, but she did not leave. Her thoughts were restless. Humans were unpredictable, and this one, he seemed different. More than any alien suitor, he seemed capable of something she had long thought impossible: honesty. That night, as the twin moons of Viralia rose over the city, Elias stood on the balcony of his quarters, gazing at the alien stars. He felt the weight of the challenges ahead, but also a quiet determination. He knew the path would be difficult. He knew the Queen's trials would push him to limits he had never faced. But he also knew one thing clearly: he would not lie, and he would not falter. Somewhere in the palace, Lyra watched him from a shadowed window. Her heart, cautious and cold for so long, beat faster than it had in centuries. There was something in this human that she could not ignore. Perhaps, she thought, there was a reason the Queen had allowed him into the court. Perhaps for the first time, honesty could be found in a place long ruled by deceit. And so, under alien moons and distant stars, a human stood ready to face a world that had never expected him to succeed. And a princess began to wonder if her heart might yet be moved by the impossible. The next morning, the alien queen summoned all the suitors to the central courtyard. The air was sharp and cold, carrying the scent of alien flora that grew only on Viralia. Crystal fountains glowed with liquid light, and alien guards watched from the shadows. Elias entered calmly, his human presence stark against the colorful and elaborate alien forms. The queen's voice rang out, clear and commanding. "Today, each suitor will face a test of integrity. Their courage, honesty, and loyalty will be measured. Only those who are true in spirit may advance. Fail, and your motives will be revealed to all." Alien suitors smirked. Many believed their illusions and flattery could pass any trial, but Elias, as always, made no show. He listened carefully and followed instructions without arrogance. The first trial was called the Maze of Reflections. It was a twisting labyrinth filled with shifting walls and magical illusions. Only one path led to the center, where a rare crystal artifact awaited. Many suitors entered with confidence, showing off their speed and cunning, but the illusions tricked them. Some ran into walls that were not there. Others found themselves looping endlessly. Their frustration grew with every false step. Elias entered quietly, observing the maze. He paused, studied patterns, and noticed subtle hints, faint changes in the air, the way light bent around certain walls. He did not rush or try to force his way. Slowly, patiently, he followed the path that logic revealed. When other suitors cursed and shouted, he remained calm. At the center, he found the crystal artifact, glowing with a soft, blue light. He picked it up carefully, not touching it too hard, not rushing. When he emerged, the queen watched closely. The mirrors of the maze had tested honesty, and Elias's reflection remained unchanged. No deception had been found. Princess Lyra, standing at the edge of the courtyard, could not hide her surprise. Humans were unpredictable, and Elias's patience, intelligence, and calmness stood out sharply against the chaotic, desperate alien suitors. She had seen many beings try and fail before, but none moved with this combination of courage and clarity. The next trial was the test of courage. A vast canyon stretched beneath the court, filled with jagged rock formations and swirling winds. From the edges, alien suitors had to leap across floating platforms to retrieve a glowing orb. Many had tried before and fallen, swallowed by the canyon or carried away by the wind. The queen's magic ensured that only true courage and focus could succeed. Alien suitors boasted loudly, jumping without care, relying on tricks or illusions. One by one they failed, falling into the depths or getting stuck between the floating platforms. Elias did not boast. He observed the gaps, gauged distances, and timed each jump carefully. When he leapt, he landed solidly, moving steadily across the canyon. At the far side, he retrieved the orb, holding it securely. Lyra's heart stirred again. Elias did not show fear, yet he did not rush. He trusted his skill, his mind, and his instincts. This was unlike any alien suitor she had known. Courage in her world was often shown with bluster or deception, but this human's courage was quiet, honest, and complete. After the trials, the queen called all suitors forward. Many had failed and were visibly shaken. Their false motives had been revealed. They whispered excuses and tried to hide their shame, but the queen saw all. She turned her gaze to Elias. "You, human," she said. "You have completed today's trials. Your actions show truth in ways alien hearts seldom achieve. Do not think this endears you to my daughter, for the next trials will test your soul, not just your courage or skill." Elias nodded respectfully. "I understand, Your Majesty. I do not seek favor, only to show who I am." Lyra stepped forward, slightly. "Your methods are different," she said softly, almost to herself. "I have not seen such honesty or patience in centuries. Most seek only to impress or deceive. You—" Her voice trailed off. She could not find words. Her curiosity was growing, and she felt The morning sun rose over Virelia, casting long shadows across the alien palace. Elias walked through the courtyard, moving with calm purpose. The day's trials were not yet begun, but already the air was tense. Alien suitors whispered in clusters, their jealousy and fear of the human growing. Many had failed yesterday, their illusions shattered, and Elias's quiet success had drawn both admiration and envy. Princess Lyra observed him from a balcony above, her violet eyes following his every step. Something about him fascinated her. He was unlike any alien she had ever met, direct, calm, and honest. And yet, he was courageous in ways she had thought impossible. She wanted to know him better, but her upbringing and the queen's warnings made her cautious. Still, she could not hide her curiosity. The queen appeared suddenly, her silver form gleaming in the sunlight. "Today," she said, "we test not only skill or courage, but trust. Each suitor will be paired with another to complete a task that requires cooperation. Deceit will be exposed and only truth will survive." Alien suitors exchanged nervous glances. Many had tried to cheat each other in the past, manipulating alliances for advantage. Elias, however, stepped forward without hesitation. "I am ready," he said simply. Lyra was surprised when the queen assigned Elias and her as a pair. She had expected to be partnered with a trusted alien noble. Now she would face the human directly. She studied him closely. "You do not fear this task?" she asked softly. "I respect it," Elias replied, "but I do not fear it. I trust that working together honestly will succeed." Their task was set in the Hall of Shifting Shadows, a large chamber filled with moving platforms, light beams, and hidden pitfalls. A rare gemstone rested at the far end, and it was their goal to retrieve it without triggering the traps. Any false move would reveal deception or weakness, as the queen's magic recorded every action. At first, Lyra was skeptical. She had seen many beings attempt such trials and fail, their motives unclear or false. But Elias moved with careful observation. He analyzed the traps, noted patterns in the light, and adjusted his steps accordingly. He communicated clearly with Lyra, giving simple instructions yet allowing her to act with her own skill. As they moved, Lyra noticed something unexpected. Elias did not take control, but he also did not hesitate. He trusted her, and she began to trust him in return. Together they navigated the hall, avoiding pitfalls that had claimed previous suitors. When a platform shifted unexpectedly, Elias caught her hand without hesitation, steadying her. She felt a spark of warmth at his touch, but she did not show it. Halfway through, a trap activated, a beam of energy that threatened to separate them or strike down the careless. Lyra panicked for a moment, but Elias remained calm. "Step back and follow my lead," he said. He timed the beam and moved precisely, allowing Lyra to step safely behind him. Together, they advanced. By the time they reached the gemstone, Lyra's doubts had begun to fade. Elias had shown patience, skill, and respect. Unlike other suitors, he did not boast or manipulate. He acted with integrity, trusting her and remaining honest throughout. When Lyra placed her hand on the gemstone, the Queen's magic confirmed their success. No deception had been detected. The Queen's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Remarkable," she said. "Few beings, alien or human, could have accomplished this together. Perhaps there is truth in the human after all." Lyra turned to Elias, her expression guarded but intrigued. "You are different," she said. "I have never seen anyone move like this. You trust easily, but you are cautious at the same time." "I do not understand it fully," Elias smiled gently. "I have learned that honesty is stronger than trickery. Trust can be earned, but it must be given carefully. I believe you have that same wisdom, Princess." The day continued with smaller trials, each designed to test cooperation, empathy, and understanding. Elias and Lyra worked together seamlessly, their bond growing with each task. Alien suitors watched in disbelief, unable to comprehend how a human could navigate challenges so complex with honesty alone. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias returned to his quarters. Lyra, however, lingered in the palace, gardens watching him from afar. She had seen many suitors fail, some noble, some cunning, all false in one way or another. Yet this human, he was different. She felt a strange pull toward him, a desire to understand what lay beneath his calm exterior. She remembered the Queen's words. All suitors lied. None were worthy. Could it be that this human was the exception? Could honesty, courage, and integrity, traits she had thought rare in the galaxy, truly exist in one being? Elias sat quietly in his room, reflecting on the day. The trials were difficult, but he felt a quiet satisfaction. He had not needed tricks or lies. He had relied only on his wits, courage, and honesty. And through it all he had gained the trust of the princess, something far more valuable than any gem or title. Lyra finally spoke to herself, her voice almost a whisper. Perhaps humans are not what I expected. Perhaps he is the one who can show me what truth really means." And so, under the twin moons of Veralia, the bond between human and princess began to form. It was subtle at first, glances, gestures, and small moments of understanding, but it was real. Elias had proven himself not only to the Queen, but to Lyra, the one who had grown cynical over centuries of deceit. The night was calm yet full of unspoken possibilities. The trials would continue, rivalries would intensify, and the Queen's scrutiny would remain sharp. But for the first time, Lyra's heart held a glimmer of trust. A human had shown her something she had thought lost to the galaxy: honesty, courage, and a soul worth believing in. The sun rose over Veralia with a pale golden glow, but inside the palace, tension hung like a thick fog. Word of Elias's success had spread quickly. Alien suitors whispered angrily among themselves, their pride wounded by the ease with which a human had passed challenges that had confounded generations. Many plotted in secret, seeking ways to discredit him before the Queen's next test. Elias, however, remained calm. He walked through the palace halls with quiet determination, his mind focused on what lay ahead. He knew the Queen's trials would grow more complex and dangerous. Unlike the other suitors, he did not rely on tricks or deceit, only skill, courage, and honesty. Lyra observed him closely. She had spent time watching Elias from a distance, seeing how he handled obstacles, how he spoke with respect, and how he treated others, even alien attendants who were often ignored by suitors. There was a quiet strength in him, a human persistence that fascinated her. Yet she remained cautious. Trust was rare in her world, and centuries of deception had left scars. The queen entered the central hall, her presence commanding complete silence. "Today," she announced, "we test not only skill and courage but loyalty and judgment. Deception will be revealed, alliances tested, and the heart of a suitor exposed. Beware, for those who fail will suffer consequences visible to all." Alien. Suitors exchanged nervous glances. Many had relied on cunning and manipulation, but now those methods seemed useless against Elias. The queen's gaze fell upon him, and she spoke with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. "Human, your previous successes were unexpected. Let us see if your integrity will endure the next trials." The first challenge involved navigating the Chamber of Mirrors, a massive hall filled with shifting illusions designed to confuse and trap those who sought to deceive. Alien suitors entered confidently, but the hall quickly revealed their weaknesses. Some became lost, wandering in circles. Others triggered traps that exposed hidden lies. Their frustration grew, and anger simmered beneath forced smiles. Elias entered the hall without hesitation. He observed carefully, noticing subtle patterns in the shifting reflections. He did not rush, he did not panic, and he did not attempt to manipulate the illusions. Step by step he moved forward, relying on logic and intuition. When he reached the far side of the chamber, the queen's magic confirmed that no deception had been detected. His honesty remained unbroken. Lyra, watching from above, felt her interest deepen. Few beings in the galaxy could maintain such composure and clarity under pressure. Elias's approach was unlike any alien suitor she had ever known. There was no false bravado, no hidden agenda, only steady, thoughtful action. The next test was far more dangerous. The queen led the suitors to a cliff overlooking a swirling chasm. Strange creatures unseen by most beings flitted and lurked below, their movements unpredictable and swift. The suitors were tasked with retrieving a glowing orb suspended over the chasm, accessible only by a narrow, shifting bridge. Alien suitors leaped recklessly, relying on illusions or cheating devices to cross. Many failed, slipping into the abyss or panicking mid-step. Elias assessed the bridge carefully, timing his moves and focusing on balance. When a gust of wind threatened to knock him off, he adjusted instantly, using steady precision. Step by step he reached the orb, securing it without harm. Lyra could not hide her surprise. Elias's courage and control were remarkable. Unlike the alien suitors who relied on deception or luck, he relied only on his skills, judgment, and honesty. For the first time she felt admiration and something more stir within her heart. Back in the palace, the rival suitors grew desperate. They whispered a trap that the central hall of the alien palace was alive with tension. Today would be the ultimate test, the final challenge to determine which suitor was worthy of Princess Lyra's hand. The queen's presence filled the hall, her multiple eyes sharp and unwavering. The alien court gathered in hushed anticipation, whispers spreading like fire. Every suitor knew the stakes. Any deception would be revealed, and failure would be public and undeniable. Elias stood at the front, calm as always. His human heart beat steadily, though he understood the gravity of the moment. He had faced dangerous terrains, shifting illusions, and perilous chasms, yet the test ahead was different. This was a trial of honesty itself, one that would strip all pretense from every participant. The queen raised a hand. Today, the trial of blood and truth will begin. Each suitor will step forward, and the nature of their intentions, honesty, and loyalty will be revealed by the ancient magic of this court. Deception will be shown. Those who fail will suffer consequences. Alien suitors approached one by one. Their confidence, which had seemed unshakable, crumbled under the scrutiny of the queen's magic. Lies, manipulations, and hidden motives became visible in shimmering lights above their heads. Some tried to hide their dishonesty, but the magic left nothing untouched. The court gasped as illusions shattered, secrets laid bare, and suitors were publicly exposed for the first time in centuries. Finally, the moment came for Elias. He stepped forward, shoulders straight, eyes steady. He had no illusions to hide, no false motives to conceal. His every step radiated calm honesty. The Queen's magic swept over him, tracing his intentions, his past actions, and his heart. The light shimmered and swirled, searching for any trace of deceit. For a tense moment, the court held its collective breath. Then the magic settled. Nothing appeared. No lies, no manipulations, no hidden motives. Only truth. Elias's honesty, courage, and integrity shone brightly, unlike anything the alien court had ever seen. A stunned silence filled the hall. Lyra, standing beside the Queen, felt her breath catch. She had witnessed many trials, seen suitors fail spectacularly, yet never had she seen anyone emerge with such purity of action and intention. Her heart, guarded and cautious for centuries, throbbed with admiration, and something more. The Queen's voice cut through the silence, calm but tinged with astonishment. Human, you have proven what no alien suitor has. Your blood, your nature, your honesty is unlike anything I have witnessed. You have faced every test, every trap, every illusion without deception. Your actions are true. Your heart, unlike any I have known. Elias bowed respectfully. I sought no glory, Your Majesty, only to remain true to myself, and to earn the trust of Princess Lyra. Lyra stepped forward, her eyes meeting his. I have never seen anyone like you, she said softly. Your courage, your honesty, your patience, they are unlike anything in my world. You are different from all the others. You are worthy. The alien suitors, now humbled and defeated, could only watch. They had relied on trickery, illusions, and manipulation for centuries, believing themselves superior to humans. Yet one, human with nothing but truth and courage, had surpassed them all. Whispers spread through the court. Perhaps humans were more than their fragile appearance suggested. Perhaps their strength lay in something deeper, something alien, minds rarely understood. The Queen's gaze softened slightly, though she remained cautious. This court has seen many suitors, and each has failed. But human, you have succeeded. Where all others have lied, your blood, your integrity has won my respect, and if you choose to honor her, the princess's heart may yet be yours. Lyra felt a warmth in her chest she had not known for centuries. She took a step closer to Elias, drawn not by status or appearances, but by the truth she saw in him. I trust you, she said, and I wish to see where this honesty, this courage will lead us. Elias smiled, a simple, genuine smile that spoke of relief, joy, and unspoken respect. Then we will face the future together, he said, softly. I do not know what it holds, but I know I will remain true. The Queen raised her hands, signaling the conclusion of the trial. Let this day be remembered. Let it be known that truth, courage, and integrity may triumph where trickery and deceit have always failed. Let it be known that a human, with nothing but honesty and resolve, has surpassed what this court has considered possible for centuries. The alien court murmured in astonishment. Some bowed in respect to Elias, acknowledging his unique accomplishments. Others, though still envious, could not deny the truth before their eyes. One by one, they recognized that the human's actions had shattered centuries of assumptions about strength, honor, and trust. Lyra took Elias's hand, feeling the warmth of his skin, the steady confidence of a being unlike any she had met. You have proven more than I could have imagined, she whispered. Not only to me, but to all who doubted you. And yet, I sense there is more to you than these trials reveal. Elias shook his head with a small laugh. Perhaps, Princess. But what you see is enough. Honesty is simple, but it is powerful. That is all I am. The Queen regarded them both, her expression thoughtful. She had seen countless suitors fail, Yet this human's success challenged everything she had believed. She felt a quiet hope that this human, paired with her daughter, might change the course of the court, the kingdom, and even the galaxy's view of humanity. As the sun set behind the palace towers, casting long shadows across the crystal halls, Elias and Lyra stood together, hand in hand. The trials had tested their courage, their integrity, and their hearts. And in the end, truth had triumphed. For the first time in centuries, Princess Lyra felt something she thought impossible: hope. And alongside that hope, a spark of something deeper, a feeling that perhaps this human with his blood and heart had claimed more than victory in a trial. Perhaps he had won her heart as well. The morning light of Virelia reflected off the palace, towers like liquid silver. The air was calm, but the court buzzed with quiet excitement. Word of Elias's triumph in the trial of blood and truth had spread across the palace. Alien suitors who had once been confident now whispered among themselves, in disbelief. One human, fragile in appearance yet strong in spirit, had done what centuries of alien suitors could not. Elias walked through the palace courtyard, his steps steady and calm. Today would mark a turning point. The queen had already acknowledged his honesty, courage, and integrity. The final step was for him and Lyra to declare their bond openly in front of the court. Lyra awaited him in the grand hall, her violet eyes reflecting the crystal chandeliers above. She wore a simple robe, her posture poised yet relaxed. She had spent the night considering her feelings, the events of the trials, and the human who had so completely impressed her. In centuries of life, she had never encountered someone so honest, so fearless, and so true to themselves. Elias approached and bowed. "Princess Lyra," he said softly, "these trials have shown me the strength of your world, the challenges of your people, and the wisdom of your queen. But they have also shown me that truth and courage can bridge any divide. If you allow me, I wish to stand by your side, not only in these halls but wherever life may lead." Lyra's eyes softened. She stepped forward and took his hand, feeling the warmth and steadiness of his touch. "Elias, you have proven more than I could have imagined, not only through courage and honesty, but through your respect for me, and for what is right. I wish to face the future with you." The queen, seated above in her throne, observed the exchange. She had seen countless suitors fail, but the human's persistence and integrity had changed her perspective. She raised her hand, signaling the court to attention. "Let it be known," she announced, her voice strong and clear, "that the human named Elias has passed every trial with honor. He has shown honesty where others deceived, courage where others faltered, and loyalty where others betrayed. The princess has chosen him, and this court shall witness their bond." Murmurs spread through the alien nobles. Some were stunned, others curious, and a few resentful, but none could deny the truth before them. Elias had achieved what no alien could. He had earned the trust and admiration of the princess, and even the queen herself. Lyra turned to Elias, her voice steady and sincere. "Together, we will face whatever comes. Your ways are different, human, but I see now that they are stronger than many I have known. Your blood, your nature, has proven its worth." Elias nodded, squeezing her hand gently. "And your wisdom, princess, has shown me that strength is not only in skill or power, but in trust, understanding, and courage. Together, we are stronger than any trial." The court watched silently as the two stepped forward. This human-alien bond was unprecedented, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The queen's magic, which had revealed deceit and dishonesty, now radiated warmth over Elias and Lyra, acknowledging their honesty and commitment. The alien suitors, humbled by their failures, approached slowly. Some bowed in respect, acknowledging the human's unprecedented achievement. Others remained silent, still struggling with envy. Yet even in their disappointment, they could not ignore the truth. Elias's courage and integrity had set him apart. "Lord," Queen spoke once more, "let this day mark a new era. Let it be